Hi! Hi, how's it going? Oh man, I can't believe you had time to write your entire performance evaluation in just that minute-and-a-half break.
Solid D work. Grading on a curve.
Grading on a curve. Guys, welcome to This Week on Esports.
It's true.
We're on episode 50-something.
6, and you know what? We actually just saw our hour-long show with Team Reciprocity, but now it's time for our regularly scheduled programming, also known as
This Week on Esports.
It's true.
I didn't know if there was like some other thing like part deux, right? Like
part deux.
Like we've done part. Let me just say, after getting to watch that, which by the way, mad props, you handled it like a pro.
Thank you very much.
Do.
I try sometimes.
But I want more of that. Like hanging out with those guys, like hanging out.
This is one of the many things that I feel like we can bring to the people. Such as yourselves.
And myself, who fanned out massively.
He did. He was over in the corner, and I felt kind of bad because it's like, you know, you're like foaming at the mouth over there, and I loved it because you were, look at what he's wearing, folks.
I know. I just, you know
He even came prepared. I came with like Forza DLC. Not on brand, Kate. Not on brand.
Wow. But the other thing, the thing that was so magical for me is, you guys, many of you know, and actually, I was wearing the Envious shirt yesterday. I was wearing their jersey yesterday, and for those of you, Snipedown, who used to play for them, and he had an Envious Elite controller. So number one, I'm like, dude is magical at Halo.
He is
obviously.
magical. Yeah, absolutely. Started his career in Halo 3.
And the thing is a lot of times, like, you'll see a persona of bravado that's on the show, like when they're competing, and we've completely gone off script at this point. But
yeah,
you've seen a completely bravado, but like then you meet these guys, and they are some of the coolest, just nicest dudes. So,
absolutely.
Snipedown, you're okay. You get the Robey one. You get 38 out of 43 stars.
Wow.
That's a
high mark. I can say.
I've just come up with my rating for esports players.
40 out of 43.
Out of 43.
Interesting.
Yeah,
an interesting rule point.
43. I don't know. I was just going, okay. Anyway, the esports world is constantly changing and busier than ever. And since this show is for you, and we enjoy it too, you get to decide what we talk about and cover. How do they do that?
I just don't know.
You don't?
No, but someday. Well, I'll tell you how we do that. So says I do actually know. We simply check out these voting options you'll see soon below the video window.
Below. That's right. We may be up here at the desk, but this is your show.
We are so not in charge.
We are not in charge.
No.
We have a very, very draconian individual in the back who takes care of us. But on this show, we'll have trivia and more. Video highlights, interviews like you just saw, and so much more. So be sure to get your selection in if you want to hear the latest from your favorite esports. Now, what do we got as an option? We've got Dragon Ball Z.
I was going to say, I see that right up
Fighters,
there.
Dragon Ball Fighters, Overwatch OWL. Which is crazy.
What's crazy?
Just Overwatch right now.
It's always crazy.
Yeah, and then Madden. So
Madden.
Okay, so looks like votes are up. Should I take this one?
I think you should. I was writing a quick mail.
Dragon Ball Fighters. Yes, you are invited to the after party, Kate, and you don't have to RSVP on show. So hosted by Beyond the Summit, Summit of Power is a Dragon Ball Fighters invitational event held at the Summit Gaming House in Los Angeles. 16 players were invited to this event, 8 through formal invitation, 5 through Twitter nominations, and 3 who qualified through previous events, including Combo Breaker 2018. These players competed for over $9,000, $10,000 to be exact. So it was over 9,000.
More than 9,000.
Over 9,000!
Now my earpiece is coming out too. I can't handle anything.
I'm sorry.
This is what happens when I do an hour of programming before we start this.
So anyway, being a Summit Invitational, you can bet that these players have the highest power level in the community with Sonic Fox,
Oh, Sonic Fox, you said it.
Venriddy, and Hook Gang God.
Was Taquito not there?
But with so many elite warriors in the same house, the results were anyone's guess. Now, at Summit Power, we got to see the rise of NRG's Hook Gang God after defeating Apology Man, Goichi, and Venriddy in intense Game 5 sets. Hook looked unstoppable for the first time in Dragon Ball FighterZ, which is crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. I say you keep going.
Okay. With Hook upsetting Goichi and Venriddy upsetting Sonic Fox, well, that's kind of surprising. The set between Sonic Fox and Goichi that we expected to be the grand final ended up being the losers semifinal instead. Why does that happen? We were talking about that in the other segment. We were. So with only one man able to proceed, Sonic Fox came out in top in a heart-pounding Game 5. After Sonic Fox defeated Venriddy 3-0, it was down to Hook Gang God and Sonic Fox in the grand finale. Hook Gang God stuck with his team of Cell, Piccolo, and Vegeta, with Sonic Fox went with Cell, Kid, and Boo. And his newest character, Gotenks? I don't know.
Gotenks?
Yeah, Gotenks.
Gotenks? I don't know.
Gotenks. With Sonic Fox having to win 2 sets, he was in a foreign territory, but still came in with full force. Although the first set was close, Sonic Fox made a statement in Game 5, defeating all 3 of Hook's characters while only losing half of Cell's health bar. Wow. Holy crud.
Heyo.
Going into set 2, Hook Gang God went even further beyond, taking 3 games straight to take the tournament.
Exactly. Now this is Hook Gang God's first premier tournament win, with many top 4 placements in the past, sort of always the bridesmaid, never the bride, but actually now
he is the bride?
He is the bride. As luck would have it, Hook Gang God was invited to this tournament for placing second in his qualifier after losing to the mighty Sonic Fox, who already received a formal invitation. It's also the first time someone has used Piccolo. Is that right?
Yeah, I guess.
Piccolo.
Piccolo.
You know, things happen.
I'm sorry, guys.
Piccolo.
Piccolo.
Is Piccolo's Italian brother.
I have a sore throat, so I was thinking Ricola.
Ricola.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
This is the first time someone used Piccolo to take a premier tournament, which may be a sign of change in meta.
Oh, wow. Okay, to see how the rest of the bracket played out, visit smash.gg/SOP and go to twitch.tv Beyond the Summit to watch the VODs.
Beyond the Summit, I do appreciate Beyond the Summit in general, because obviously they've got, depending on the summit, whichever the events they have a bunch of different esports that they feature, and they are always in like a house of some kind, like a nice, like, super chill, everybody's on the... Everybody's on the couch situation.
I wonder if they use like player houses, or one of the team houses.
Team houses?
So, yeah, team houses.
I
mean,
don't
they
know.
have some really, like, I got to visit
Ghost Gaming.
Yeah, Philly Fusion one was also really awesome. So
forget about it.
So I think are we voting?
I think we're gonna vote.
Are we gonna vote? I think let's vote. We're voting. We're voting.
Madden.
The man has spoken.
Overwatch.
He said vote.
League of Legends Texas Showdown
what
2018.
Are we voting for?
I'm pressing the Overwatch League. You know what? I'm gonna join you in that.
I'm gonna stand up.
I'm gonna
I feel
join
like I
you
don't
in the
burn enough
standing.
calories.
I can't.
So here we go. Overwatch League. It looks like OWL is gonna take it. League of Legends is in a distant second.
Distant second.
And I read interesting while we wait for the vote.
Yes, of course.
Interesting thing about League of Legends. So the MSI thing.
Yep. Mid-season invitational.
Mid-season invitational. They said 127 million
views.
127 million concurrent.
Ooh, hello.
It was crazy. Now, thing is that just recently, actually middle of June, they decided, and we'll talk a little bit more about this with League of Legends, but actually it was closer to 60 million. Luckily, Riot came back and they did they actually released all the figures just a couple weeks ago, and so 60 million concurrents. Pretty dang good.
That works out pretty well.
With 19.5 concurrent. So 19.5 million concurrent, 60 million total views on that thing.
That is nothing to shake a stick at.
Nothing to shake a stick at.
I'll tell you that. Well,
but anyway, speaking of not having anything to do with League of Legends at all, let's talk about Overwatch. Take it away, Kate.
Thank you, Robey. Last week, more than 55,000 Overwatch League fans voted for the first round of players to be entered into the All-Star game in August. Much like in traditional sports, the All-Star match... is divided into Pacific B Atlantic divisions and is made up of the top players from the Overwatch League regular season voted for you by you, the fans. All-Star Weekend festivities will kick off on Saturday, August 25th with a series of custom skill matches. The following day, it'll be the big event where the Atlantic and the Pacific Division All-Stars go head-to-head in the official All-Star game. Now, this event is separate from the Overwatch League playoffs, as well as the grand finals, which means players from unqualified teams will get a chance to showcase their talents one more time. Now, let's check out to see who made the roster. The Pacific Division is off to a strong start with the inclusion of Fissure from LA Gladiators, whose strong regular season performance has made him a top contender for the league MVP. In addition, the Valiant's Custom made it to the All-Star team, along with Dallas Fuel's Siegel, both of whom were big stars of their own respective teams.
Now, next up, the Pacific Division were the 2 Seoul Dynasty players, Fleta and Roy...
What is it? Oh.
Roy...
Oh, my gosh.
Ryo Zhong, sorry if you're watching, I feel bad. So with who both gave terrific performances during regular season despite not bringing their team to the playoffs. Shanghai Dragons fans got a surprise with the addition of Garugi, Gurgari, who made it to the All-Stars despite the Dragons' legendary perfect season.
It's
not
perfect.
Awful, not awful, perfect season.
Perfectly awful.
Another shock was, in fact, the lack of shock, as no players from San Francisco made it into the All-Star roster so far.
Interesting. Now, the Atlantic Division has its own list of heavy hitters, which is, unsurprisingly, stacked with New York Excelsior players. Claiming 4 out of the 6 positions. Come on. and showing their strength as players and fan favorites. The chosen NYXL players were Arc, I knew I was going to get this one wrong. Sabio, whatever. Pine, no kidding, Pine's on there, and Junk.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome to the esports edition of us crushing games.
Oh, Lord.
Okay,
I can't.
so anyway, they are also undoubtedly the top performers in the league. Now, the last two Atlantic players were Carpe from Philadelphia Fusion, yay, as well as Gesture from London Spitfire. Double yay.
Oh, Lord.
That's two of my teams right there. While many expected New York Excelsior to have a strong turnout in the votes, the news was quite a surprise for Boston Uprising fans who, despite successful seasons, still didn't get any of their players on board, which actually is surprising given how they played last round. Now, if you're upset that your favorite player didn't make the cut, not to worry. An additional 12 players for each division will be announced in July, all of whom will be chosen by Overwatch League players, coaches, casters, and staff.
Make sure to tune in August 25th and 26th for the All-Star Game and definitely catch the playoffs and grand finals. All this and more can be found at overwatchleague.com or the Overwatch League app, where fans can tune in live or watch VODs of previous matches. Also check out twitch.tv/Overwatch League, as well as MLG.tv for more action. And be sure to give them a follow at Overwatch League on Twitter to get notified with all the latest news and updates. Speaking of news and updates, for Overwatch.
Yeah.
I believe, who was it? Smurf69, friend of the show. Anyone seen the newly announced hero to the Overwatch lineup? Good grief. Hammond, a.k.a. Wrecking Ball. Game changer.
Wow.
It's a small hamster that lives in its own robot.
Wait, they just announced this?
Today.
Like today?
I think 7 a.m. may have.
Do we not have that?
I don't think we do.
I don't think we do.
But that's because it's not going to, I mean, tell you what, when it goes to the Overwatch League.
Well, so here's a question, right? So,
when does it go?
So yeah, the thing is with finals, and they have done this in League, and they have done this in other ones, is like there is a chance. And given that they're letting their players play now, and that in New York at the Barclays Center, that you might actually see them played, right? And given like how much they've changed the meta in between each individual section, I would not be surprised if OWL decides to do something like this. This isn't beyond Blizzard to do something.
That's true.
So I would not be surprised. So I think I don't know. There's obviously we don't have an official announcement yet, but I mean. I don't know. It definitely seems like something Blizzard would do.
I guess.
2 cents.
How was Brigitte?
Brigitte was actually in this. Was this season? So I mean,
there's precedent.
Yeah, there's a precedent. So I would not be surprised if we actually see that. I think that would be rad. I think it did a lot for. I mean, look how much things changed with this last group. I mean, I don't know. That's what I like. The meta is changing.
And not for nothing, can I just say, I appreciate a changing meta, especially from a league that has such a mega #1 team. I mean, 4 out of the 6 All-Stars from that division are. So I'm just saying, it doesn't, for me, like.
So chat,
I'm down.
Chat.
Oh,
let me ask you a question. So this is just a question for chat, like while we're going through this. What are your thoughts on an OWL All-Stars game, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like the thing that was super interesting, so obviously this is something that's been copied from Major League Sports, the NFL, the MLB, they all do stuff like this. And you've seen them refine these things to try and get more interest. Now, I think that from a gameplay standpoint, this is like a lot of ways like a fantasy football type play for OWL where players get to kind of choose and make their dream team, so to speak, right? But what are your thoughts? What do you think of an all-star thing like this? I'd love to know. I mean, tweet at us. I mean, you can tweet at Yeager or Robey. I'd love to hear what you guys think of this because I'm on the fence. I don't know. I don't know what to think.
We got I love it, not sure. We got Malik being a bit of a D. Thanks.
Malik probably being like, what's Overwatch?
Yeah. Let's see. We got I love All-Stars. I get it. No, it'll be interesting. And I think from a strictly entertainment standpoint, which I guess this is kind of all like I shouldn't say like it's not entertainment normally, but from a strictly like what's going to make the best content, what's going to be the best TV to see, it's hard not to appreciate an all-star game.
It is, but the question is is the watching worth it? Like that's one of the things that goes in there, and with so many other things that have a tendency to go in there. Yeah. August is prime time, right? We're talking 1 week away from the international at that point in time.
True.
And so there's a lot of stuff.
What about Gamescom? Does Gamescom? Where's Gamescom?
Gamescom is that week. It's the 21st. So and then you got BlizzCon like what 6 weeks? Five or 6 weeks later. So something like that. There's a lot going on.
Folks.
I'd like to know what you guys think. This is my thing. What are we doing now? We're voting.
We're voting find out what else you want to think about.
We're voting.
Madden, or let's see, we got Gwent, digital card game there. League of Legends still on the board, and Texas Showdown 2018 all still up there.
Do we talk about the? So I watched a bit of the segment from last year, the bike riding with the.
Oh, CVR.
Yeah, CVR, and actually that was thank you for that. That was
awesome.
Intense.
Isn't that great?
That was pretty crazy, like watching the mix between those things. But that's not what you voted for.
No, it's
I think
not.
you guys are voting for some League of Legends.
Hey, that works out. It feels like you're going to start this one.
I think I am going to start this. And believe it or not, the NC LCS summer split is already through week 2.
I think it's NA's LCS.
NA, sorry. I can't read.
Or it could be North Carolina.
Yeah, it could be.
Maybe they got a big scene.
Wow, I'm reading like a pro today. For the uninitiated, the North American LCS, aka the North American League of Legends Championship Series, is comprised of 10 teams. These teams face each other twice over the course of a season, with competition stretching across 2 splits, summer and spring.
Yeah,
now,
easy.
these teams will duke it out in a double round robin where the top 6 teams will then continue on to the playoffs.
Now, the teams are 100 Thieves, also known as Nade Shot's current baby, Cloud9, Clutch Gaming, CLG, Echo Fox, FlyQuest, Golden Guardians, Optic Gaming, Team Liquid, and
TSM,
Team
there's
Solomid. By the way, did you hear their coach? TSM.
Wow, really?
Yeah, the interim coach is going to be the assistant. I can't remember any of their names, but
wow,
that's what I
right in the
saw.
middle of the split.
Right in the middle of the split,
That seems like
man.
a weird time to do that. Okay, so anyway.
Exactly. Because of the new franchise system, these are the same 10 teams from the spring split with some minor roster shuffles, but that certainly doesn't mean they're looking at the same results.
Yeah. Now, during week 1, most teams managed to win and lose a game. FlyQuest lost both games, which is a little weird since these guys historically start out strong. 100 Thieves, who had taken first in the spring split, also managed to lose both of their games. Wow. So meanwhile, Echo Fox and TSM, who took second and third place in the spring split, were the only 2 teams to win both of their games. By the way, Echo Fox's comeback against Clutch Gaming is definitely worth a VOD watch. But while strong starts are always great, there are still only week 1. We're still only at the beginning.
I'm trying to look up the, I just saw it on my, I just broke news earlier today. So let's talk this, however, about week 2. Clutch Gaming went up against top team TSM. While TSM looked solid after week 1, Clutch brought their game and took the win. Optic went up against the other week 1 top team, Echo Fox. Now, Echo Fox couldn't hold on as Optic sailed ahead to take the win. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves stepped it up. Afromoo, I think, is on 100 Thieves.
Yeah. And
won their games against FlyQuest and Cloud9. But don't feel bad for FlyQuest there, kids. They lost this game. They came back to beat Optic day 2.
Well, that's pretty good. So week 3 takes place this Saturday and Sunday, which I will definitely be watching. So we'll get a better idea of who's bringing what to this competition. On Saturday, we can look forward to an intense game between 100 Thieves and Clutch Gaming, and 100 Thieves versus Optic Gaming on Sunday. Team Liquid will be another team to watch as they take on Echo Fox and Clutch Gaming. Now,
yeah.
What if they'd like to catch it?
I'll tell you, if you'd like to catch the action or check out the schedule, head to lolesports.com, and for up-to-the-minute news, give them a follow on Twitter at LOLesports.
Where are they playing? Are they playing at Riot in LA?
I believe they are.
Okay.
I'm almost certain that they are, but I could be wrong about that. I gotta figure out where this.
That might be worth catching. So anyway, I think are we voting? I think we're voting.
No, we got trivia.
Trivia. This is the segment where our producer always tries to win but never does, and that's the way we want it to be. So anyway, make sure you're warming up your controller.
Warm up those controllers. Oh. I all of a sudden feel twinges of E3.
Couple things. If you guys haven't been with us for the last 6 weeks, the faster you answer. So League of Legends, which split started recently for NALCS? We literally just talked about this. If anybody gets it wrong, you were either late or not paying attention, which I forgive you for both. But the faster you click, the more it's worth. So getting your answer in quickly is better. Or guessing wrong faster could be.
Guessing wrong faster could also
work. Could also pay out, right? So you never know.
I am still trying to
So what did we see?
This.
Oh, look, only 22% of you got it right. Congratulations. Why are we even here?
Why
are we even here?
I ask myself that question all the time.
Yeah, they're like they're here for my jerseys.
They are absolutely here for your jerseys.
And your Forza DLC.
You know, I'm gonna say it's awesome. Okay, let's go to our next question, please. Here we go. How many players have been voted in for the All-Star match? Is it 8? Is it 16? Is it 12? Or is it 20?
Oh, there's some trickiness on here.
There is some
one of these answers are the number of people who are going to be added by OWL players and coaches and casters.
It's confusing.
And let's see if you got it wrong, because it's a number we said, and I want to see how many people we tricked. Because we are crafty here at This Week in Esports.
That does sound like
we are crafty.
Man, I'm never going to find this. Anyway, if you guys
well,
know about
you got
TSM's
it right, but it's 50%,
coach,
12.
please
Yep,
let me
12.
know because I'm almost certain I saw that come through and I don't have my phone.
Can somebody find this for
Find
Kate?
out
She's freaking out right now.
Who is the current TSM coach?
Who is it? Who is it?
Anyway.
But speaking of current, let's go to the next current question.
Oh, nice segue. Which player finished the highest at the Summit of Power? Sonic Fox, Hook Gang God, Go One.
Go One.
Or Apology Man. My apologies to you.
My apology, man. Huh?
What's that?
Oh.
Les Boy. Yeah, the interim. He's the assistant.
So
he's promoted to coach, which means.
But is it temporary?
I thought it was interim.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so it's temporary. So they're looking for a new coach.
Anyway, yeah, Hook Gang God was the answer to that question, y'all. But now we know that TSM's coach.
There's a position.
Exactly.
There's a position open, and if you want to send us your resume, we can pass that along. We can pass that along.
Totally pass it along. I feel like you should just tweet about it.
We are connected.
We're very, very connected.
We can hook you up with that job.
To people.
Our recommendation goes a long way.
I mean.
Yeah.
True.
What can I say?
Okay.
Okay. What's next?
So
Next
what
question.
is next here?
We have one more question, don't we?
Nope,
no, we don't.
did
That was
3.
it. 3 questions.
So perhaps we should ask you what you want to hear about.
What do you guys want to see? Tell us. Tell us. We are very interested.
Very interested. Looks like Smash has an early lead here.
Oh,
Madden,
okay.
Gwent, Smash. This is from DreamHack or Texas Showdown 2018.
Oh, okay.
Look at
It
you,
looks like
Madden.
No, I don't know. Madden and Smash fighting it
They're
out.
literally duking it
They're
out.
little duking it out. Wonder what
What a
Smash is. I
delight.
wonder what Smash is. I mean, what Madden's ultimate is. Maybe it's a spike. I don't know.
That could work.
Hey,
Someone's an Overwatch League fan.
Nintendo, if you're looking for maybe Tom Brady in the next Super Smash,
Hey, let's just
we're making history
meld it
right now.
here.
Meld it right here.
We have some really great ideas.
We got that crossplay now with Nintendo. Like
I
maybe they're gonna
know.
take this week on esports. Like let's get some Madden.
And guys, listen, Nintendo, we're so close. If you want to just talk to us at any time, we will be there.
We can help you.
We can literally walk there.
I'm just saying, like I come up with these ideas on the spot.
Obviously.
It's pish posh right there. Anyway, DreamHack Austin threw down early this month, and for those of you unfamiliar with the digital festival, it is the home to make high-stakes esport competitions. This year's sporting $100,000 prize pools in PUBG, Counter-Strike, and the StarCraft II World Championship Series. Thousands of gamers come to this event to see their favorite esports team and participate in open tournaments. One of these tournaments, of course, is Smash Brothers.
Oh, yes. Now having a $20,000 prize pool, Smash players were ready for the chance to take out the competition and stake their claim. As with any tournament with Smash Brothers, it comes down to 2 games, Smash Melee and Smash 4. In the Smash Melee tournament, we saw 394 contestants battle it out, but only one could stand victor. Grand finals came down to Plump against La Luna. Both are very well-known names in the Smash competitive scene. Plump having been in competitive Smash since late 2009. That's just about 9 years ago.
Yeah. That's the math win.
It took me Yep.
You win.
I got
math.
there.
You got math.
Wow. That was not expected.
Every first and second grader across the United States and the world is proud of you, Kate.
I'll take it. And very well known for being a force to reckon with, reaching the top 5 in almost every singles tournament. Plop entered since early 2015. As for La Luna, formerly known as the Moon. I get
Luna,
it.
Moon, yep.
La Luna?
Yeah.
Anyway. Luna's been up and down the Smash rankings since his beginnings in early 2014, though. He's unpredictable in a tournament. He has proved his worth going toe-to-toe with many of the big names in Smash. In the grand finals, we saw Plup bring out his classic Sheik, and La Luna sticking to his main Marth. Luna has already at a disadvantage, however, having lost the winner's final and won the loser's finals. Luna would have to win 2 sets against Plop to take first place. La Luna took the first round, but that's all the room Plop gave him. Winning the next 3 matches straight, taking home Smash Melee Championship.
Now, what's even more crazy is that Plup didn't end his reign here. Plup teamed up with Mike Hayes and battled his way through the Smash Melee double tournament as well, where once more he fought La Luna, who had teamed up with DJ Nintendo, repeating the grand final single tournament and taking the title of both singles and doubles grand tournament. An amazing story and weekend for Plup overall. Now, I have a question, and I don't know if this ever happened. So the thing is that a lot of times they do these double eliminations, and then they get to the thing, and somebody has to win 2 in a row. How often does that happen?
That's a good question.
I'm just curious.
You'd be curious the stats on that, you're saying?
Yeah, I'd be curious the stats on that, because like we just had Reciprocity up there, and they had a similar game that they had to go, and the team had to basically win 2 to beat Reciprocity. it just seems unlikely. And a lot of times, like by the time you get to that point, like Envious was the only one to take them to Team 7. So what are the odds? I'm just curious. Maybe if we can find that stat, I might research that and let you know next week.
Let's find out.
That'd be good. That'd be interesting to find out. Anyway, I think it's voting time.
It is voting time. See what y'all want to hear about.
We need a voting time song.
That's actually from, I think that's from a movie.
Yeah.
Deliverance.
Well, yeah, that was, was it? Yeah, it was Deliverance. You do have a pretty mouth.
Pretty mouth.
Pretty mouth, boy. Pretty mouth.
Let's see. Madden went.
Heroes of the Storm.
Hey, Heroes of the Storm take a showdown.
Apparently, Madden can't fight Heroes of the Storm. And then we got Gwent, who keeps popping up, but just kind of staying there.
I know.
Like
I mean, listen, digital card game. We had 7 of Nerf This fame on last week.
We got Hearthstone this weekend.
I know. That's right. HTC.
Hearthstone Championship
Tour.
Yeah,
Summer Championship.
But anyway, we should talk about, forget about Hearthstone. Great game, but let's talk about Heroes of the Storm. Just went through their mid-season brawl. This brawl is the first global competition of the HGC season. All 12 teams battle it out to establish a true champion of Phase 1 and to establish the pecking order for the second half of the season.
Now, Gen G showed some major improvement this time around. Having taken the reins, they knocked top players off their thrones and sent them to lower bracket with complete shutouts.
Wow.
Defeating Dignitas in a 3-0 match in the upper bracket semifinals. They then knocking out Tempest 3-0 in the upper finals to move on to the grand finals. My goodness, that's impressive.
Yeah, Dignitas.
Meanwhile, Dignitas was heating up for a rematch with Gen G, making their way through the lower brackets without breaking a sweat. Then in the grand finals, the real competition began.
Yes, it did. Now, these grand finals was a best of 7. As Gen G came from the upper brackets, they were awarded a free win, which immediately puts Dignitas in a disadvantage, which I actually like this format a whole lot more. In the first game, Gen G pulled out the win, despite a major offset in kills. Dignitas fought back, though, and taking this all the way to the final round, tied score 3-3. The lean Gen G for a lot of it. However, Dignitas pulled a Hail Mary and battling for a central boss camp to try to end this. Despite Gen G's efforts, Dignitas took the central boss camp. But Gen G wasn't going down. Right as Dignitas took the boss, 2 of Gen G's heroes rushed the core. Dignitas, realizing late, was unable to catch up before the core started to take damage. Dignitas was able to wipe Gen G's heroes from the core, but not before one final attack from Gen G, which was just enough to take the core and win Gen G the mid-season brawl.
Ooh.
That is, okay, we talk about VODs to watch. That actually sounds like an amazing VOD, right?
Sounds like it, absolutely.
That sounds like a great win and an amazing final.
Exactly.
So, anyway, an amazing clutch play from Gen G to take the win. For those of you looking to stay up to date on all things Heroes of the Storm, then be sure to check out esports.heroesofthestorm.com. Shout out to Josh Kerwin, who basically is a good friend, and Adam, who also does that stuff as well.
Friend of the show.
We love you guys, and so we definitely want to check more of that out.
Friend of the show.
Okay, we're going to do IRL.
Hey, look at that.
Are we going to do IRL?
We are, Schiffer?
IRL.
Oh, that's right. I actually, earlier today...
Sorry, Lennox liked that one right there, didn't he?
I'm reading these little notifications that come up in my thing. Earlier today, we had the chance to talk with one of the developers from Ubisoft about the upcoming The Crew 2 launch and what went into the game to get it out the door. Check it out and what our developer had to say.
Now, as a special bonus from that King of the Road trip event that happened last weekend, we have a segment that was filmed at the Porsche Experience down in California with one of the creators, the Slap Train. Let's see how much he enjoyed riding in fancy cars.
You got 2 videos right after the other.
One right after the other. Over 7 hours of content, ladies and gentlemen. 7 hours. We'll see you in 7 hours for the rest of the show.
Welcome, sports fans, to IRL Esports, where we interview individuals in the esports and competitive gaming scene to learn more about what they do and why they do it. For today's segment, we're talking to one of the developers from Ubisoft, talking about the upcoming launch of The Crew 2. They held an event last weekend involving 16 creators down in Los Angeles. It's called King of the Road Trip, and it was great to watch those creators race around while having fun doing it. For those of you unfamiliar with the Crew 2 game, this is developed by Ubisoft Ivory Tower, a studio based in Lyon, France. I don't think I pronounced that correctly, but that doesn't matter. The Crew 2 will let players experience the thrill of the American motorsports spirit inside a fully redesigned US of A. The game's playground pushes physical boundaries to let driving and open world fans test their skills with a Z, solo or with friends, in nonstop competition and exploration. And to help us talk all about it, please welcome Stephane, producer on the Crew 2. Stephane, welcome to the West Coast of the United States.
Well, thanks for having me. That's really cool. I mean, you know everything about the game already. Why did you call me?
Well, Stephane, we want to go straight to the source, and I'm so glad we did. First off, tell us who you are and what viewers might not know about yourself, a little bit about your experience there with Ubisoft and gaming.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Stephane. As you said, I'm producer on the Crew 2. So basically, you know, the guy paying the bills, making sure everything is happening. Now, seriously, I'm project manager on the overall project of the Crew 2. I'm here at Ubisoft Ivory Tower for last, I think, 4 years now, and I've been doing online games since ever. That's kind of my passion. This is what I want to create, and the Crew 2 has been quite a challenging experience to create, and now we are ready to roll out with the Crew 2. You've seen already the first thing we've put out, the closed beta, the open beta, the first thing that we put out for the gamers, and it's almost there for everyone to go live here.
I'm telling you right now, Stephane, you are an excellent hype man, first and foremost. And obviously, as you know, we've got you here today to talk about that exciting open world racing game coming out this week. You told us already, we've said it before, the Crew 2, in your own words. Can you describe the game to those who are uninitiated to the Crew?
Well, make it easy, okay? Yeah. Take the whole USA and put any kind of motorsports inside of it, and just have fun. So it's basically the paradise for motorsports fans. You want to do some street racing, we have that. You want to take your powerboats and go in the rivers, you can do that. You want to take a plane and do some aerobatics around the Golden Gate Bridge, you can do that. It's basically every kind of motorsports activity you can imagine. There's a very good chance we've created inside of the Crew 2. And the home of this is the whole USA. East Coast, West Coast, Midwest, anything you can imagine, any kind of iconic landmark you can think of in the United States, we have that in the game, and it's a full open world. So you see a mountain, you want to climb the mountain with your rally red car, go for it. It's up to you, man.
Okay, well, obviously I know what I'm doing this weekend, but that's whatever. Anyway, an event... speaking of weekends, an event that happened last weekend to celebrate the launch of the open beta. It was called, as we mentioned earlier, King of the Road Trip, involving a number of creators from the gaming world. And since a lot of those creators were new to the game, let me ask you this. Do you have any tips out there for fans playing for the first time?
So that's one of the uniqueness of the Crew 2. We created the progression system to be completely open. It's really up to you to decide what you want to play. If you want to be a bit of street racing today, you can do that. You're more off-road today, you can do that also. You want to take a longer time and do a longer session doing some pro racing, you can do that also. And I think the first natural step inside of the Crew 2 is really to try a bit of everything. Like we really open the gates to the content very easily, so you can pick up everything, get a taste of what we have in the game, and then continue to progress in something that you really like. It's really the easiest way to really get a glimpse of all the experiences that we've created in the Crew 2. And the progression system is so open that basically everything you do in the game helps you progress, and so you are not locked in one direction, in one progression path, let's say. Mm-hmm. So do whatever you want, and really that's where the fun starts.
Progression, I like it, where the fun starts. Okay, so speaking of that event we just talked about, it had the creators competing in a variety of cars and tracks. While you and the other developers were making this title, did the watchability of the game factors, of course we talk about esports a lot here because this is This Week in Esports, that watchability of the game factor into any of your decisions?
Well, it's part of the evolution of the video game industry. I mean, we as creators, we are gamers also. So on lunchtime, we see the development team that are just sitting right there, playing games, watching games, and we see that it's a different kind of approach to the gaming. So when we started the development of the Crew 2, we already kept that in mind, saying, okay, how do we make sure that it's easy to understand, easy to watch, easy to also to create stories that you want to share? Because as a streamer, as a content creator, you want to be sure that you are creating something that is unique, that is something a bit different, and people will want to see you having these unique stories. And so everything in the game has been created that way. The openness, the fact that you can decide whatever you want to play. It's an online game, obviously, so you can imagine that you are racing a plane versus a car versus a boat in the same session. And you have no idea how their race will end, because players will have the ability to choose their own path, take their own story the way they want. So that's one way to approach this kind of uniqueness and what we call a story creator system. So basically, all the systems are there for you to create your own story and to share that with everyone.
Choose your own adventure. I love it. Okay, so this is, we've mentioned over and again, the Crew 2. It's a sequel. Obviously, you had a solid concept of what worked in the Crew, that first game. So what were some of the things that you and the team wanted to try out with this game in particular?
So, we've been very, very happy and successful with the Crew 1. We reached more than 14 million of players with the first game. So it's a huge, we're really humbled by this kind of success. And that's a lot of feedback that you get from the players. And as an online game, you are always connected with your community, and you always get the feedback from the community. So when we started the Crew 2, first thing first is that we took some of the craziest members of the community, the hardcore fans, flew them here in Lyon and say, okay, what do you think about our crazy ideas? And the heart of the crazy idea were rebuilding the whole USA with new type of vehicles now. So adding planes and boats on top of the cars and bikes we already had in the Crew 1, but much more oriented to fun and accessibility, etc. And the reaction was just like, okay, you guys are crazy. You just have too many ideas. That's going to be so hard to do. But it's like, well, let's work together. So we really worked with the community from the beginning. And one of the things that they wanted to have was freedom. The Crew 1 was proposing a lot of content and a lot of a huge playground, but a bit locked behind the story, behind the progression, and some piece of the, let's say, the most interesting content were really far in terms of progression, and you had to play for hours before getting to this. And everything what they were saying is that give us access to all the content right now. And so we started to think about that, and that's one of the idea about this kind of new progression system, is that you can do whatever you want as soon as you start the game. If you want to play with a boat for your whole life, never touch a car, you can do that. If you want to do everything, you can do that. And all the USA are open to you. You want to take your car and start to do a road trip after 5 minutes inside of the game? Have fun. It's there. It's for you. And so all that feedback was very important. We did a lot of play test sessions to be sure that we were going on the right track, build after build, iteration after iteration. And so now we are at the gate of launching the game, and we are really hoping that all those efforts and all these focus on what the community was waiting for will pay off.
Well, it seems like it might have already a bit there, but I'll definitely be excited to see where the Crew 2 goes. Our last question of the day, which is kind of a favorite one for this show. You guys had this great opportunity to showcase creators and have this open beta celebration, a very esports specific event. Would you tell people who might not understand esports or perhaps are skeptical about the idea of watching or viewing, spectating this kind of a game, why a LAN event or a competitive gaming scene is why you're into it?
I mean, it's not. There's a good reason why it's called esports. The word sports inside of it is really very essential. I mean, it's exactly the same DNA as watching sport. Like right now, it's the World Cup. We're all cheering up for our national teams, and I'm the one cheering up for France and whatnot. And everything that we find in sports, we find that also in esports. And it's so much easier at one point to get in contact with the, the players, with the athletes that we find in esports, compared to maybe more traditional sports where you see guys having careers like you cannot even dream to get into. So esports is something like much more accessible, much more human and much more tangible, let's say, than real sports for me. Mm-hmm. And when we are doing video games right now, it's obvious that we need to create a game that is compatible, let's say, with esports, being sure that if the community wants it, they want to take our game and make it an esport, then the game is okay for that, and it's working already for that. We're not trying to push it as hard as we can to make it esports ready on day one. That's not the way it works in esports. Players will make it or not an esport game, and we'll be there for them to support the game and make it evolve if the community goes in that direction.
Well, from one community member to another, I appreciate your focus and prioritization of the community. Thank you again, Stephane, for being here on our show this morning, your afternoon. Last question, do you have any special shout-outs, anything else you want to say to the fine, lovely viewers watching?
Well, we really want to thank the community during the open beta we just had. That was tremendous success. Our servers were stressed, but they hold on. That was really cool. So now we are ready to get to the next level with the release happening on the 29th. So for you, it's tomorrow. For Japan and Australia, it's actually right now. So we are launching the game now, and we are just hoping that the community will keep on supporting us and loving the game that we do here in sunny Lyon in France, because we are passionate about that, and we want to transmit and to send all that passion to our players. So we're just thankful for the support we had so far.
Well, Stephane, thank you very much once again for joining us today, and a huge congratulations on that upcoming game launch. You have a fabulous rest of your day.
Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Peter. We're at the Porsche Driving Experience. I'm going to be taking around a GT3 for a few laps and see how it's done.
Good. Feel all that space out there?
Oh yeah, I did.
Look down the straightaway. Gotcha. Pull yourself towards it. Full throttle, full throttle, full throttle. Woo! Keep the brake.
Coming off so nervous on this one. This is like the hardest one, I think, of the day.
Well, I mean,
we're about to go 2 laps right now and take me around, try to scare the shit out of me. We're gonna have some fun. You see that, right? That was a lot of fun, man. We went sideways, had a blast. Man's good, I'll tell you that right now. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, guys.
A huge thank you to those guys down in SoCal.
Yeah,
they look a nice looking Porsche there, buddy.
I mean, getting to drive a car like that, I mean, and
Doesn't
getting
suck.
to drift like that,
The drift we were very impressed
pretty
by.
impressed with the legit drift, right? And so it looked like he had a good time. Kate and I are here. If you ever want to let us drive,
We're cool.
We're cool.
I could
drive
totally do it.
I've got some experience a little
Yes,
bit. Yeah, so
sure,
I think we'd be fine if Porsche you're watching and you want to send us a car just to get some thoughts.
We'll tell you things.
We'll even
definitely
go pick up Esport Pros and pick them up.
We'll
and drive
do
them.
it.
We'll do it. Yeah.
Because we are committed to quality.
Bringing you the quality content, and we'll bring a camera person along. We learned from Snipe Down what it means to have a camera crew with us 24/7.
Right. Look at that, bringing it right back around,
This is
Robey.
what we can do.
Bringing it right back around.
So what's
something else that we do?
Yeah, something else that we do. What else do we do?
It's from time to time we do something called an extended segment. So this is where we do a deep dive in an upcoming event or tournament and break it down so you have all the information you need. Either cheer on the underdog or root for dominant world champions. We'll be here to let you know the difference so you feel in the know. Someone asks you, why are you shouting at your computer screen all day long?
Now, knowing the story of the players and what they're fighting for helps. So we'll be kicking off extended segment today talking about the Injustice 2 Pro Series at the CEO 2018 tournament kicking off tomorrow and Saturday on Mixer and other live streaming platforms.
We'll introduce you to what the Injustice Pro Series is, why CEO 2018 matters, talk you through the tournament format, and go over the potential storylines that'll arise at the event. And we wouldn't leave you without the broadcast schedule, so you know exactly when to tune in and cheer on with the others.
Now remember, this is a live show, so ask questions about the event in chat. We got people in there answering questions, so if you have any questions, just let us know.
Here's my first question before we get into this. I'm noticing that there's a lovely beach and beautiful crystal clear blue water behind the logo. Am I to understand that CEO this year is in a beautiful tropical destination?
I don't know. I
guess we'll find out.
I guess we'll watch a segment and find out. And we also know that Tara is not a Injustice 2 Pro player. We saw that yesterday. So
Tara Volker.
Tara Volker.
She is down for Tekken.
She's down for Tekken, but not for Injustice 2.
Please don't clip this.
So I don't think she'll be in the CEO fighting game for Injustice 2. So anyway.
Okay, moving right along. She's gonna get in trouble. She's gonna get me in trouble. No, you are. Never mind. Anyway, I'll start this off. CEO 2018 Fighting Game Championships. They're the second stop of the Injustice 2 Pro Series. It's taking place in Daytona Beach this upcoming weekend. I knew it was something. Okay, so Agent Epic. You mentioned you thought it might be Hawaii. I was hoping for Hawaii.
Daytona Beach is pretty good though.
Daytona.
So the CEO Gaming stands for Community Effort Orlando Gaming, and they specialize in competitive fighting game tournaments that may be the best known for this particular one.
Yeah, this tournament series is already one of the most attended fighting game events in the world. The past few years, they've had over 10,000 attendees from over 47 U.S. states and 30 countries from all over the globe.
Now, this year will be CEO's biggest event yet. They've got over 300 competitors planned to be at the event for the Injustice 2 alone, which is an increase from Combo Breaker.
Oh, dear. It's a good thing they've rented out their biggest venue to date, the Daytona Beach Ocean Center, which offers 200,000 square feet of space to stretch out and spend a weekend of gaming in.
Now, CEO is also well known for featuring a wrestling ring stage, aka the CEO Ring. This ring offers competitors the chance to showcase their personal style with their own music entrances, etc. Now, if you haven't gotten to witness one of these entrances, take a second to check them out.
Okay, here we go. Let's talk about things to do, shall we? Like most of these events, watching the fights unfold isn't the only thing you're able to do. Now, besides Injustice 2, the event will feature a plethora of streams and stages to explore, as well as a bring-your-own-computer/console area that welcomes side events.
Nice. And of course, an arcade, more specifically the Jebalian Land Arcade, named after the organizer, Alex Jebali. This arcade, which makes sense, this arcade will feature 60 free-to-play arcade cabinets, dance games, and more in 14,000 square foot ballroom, and it's open 24 hours Friday and Saturday.
That's a new trend I remember hearing about a couple months ago. It's from the event that was in Indiana, I want to say. Illinois?
Not Gen Con.
No, it was something else. Another fighting game community. I can't remember. Either way,
so,
24-hour
DDR competition, you and I, right?
Sure, of course. Yeah, the community panels will feature tons of speakers talking about all sorts of game-related content, from how to get a career starting in the video game industry to the music behind the games themselves.
Now, CEO also features the biggest artist alley in the community, Artist Alley, and on the floor there are plenty of booths to grab custom controllers, arcade sticks, plus tons of other merch.
Yeah, exactly. Now, the Injustice 2 Pro Series is following a pretty normal tournament format. Over at CEO, we'll see a double elimination format, which is very typical of most fighting game tournaments. That's where we see those heroic fights through losers' brackets and get those glorious bracket resets, which can lead to some of the most amazing comeback stories. All competitors will be battling on default match settings in a first-of-3, best-of-5 format. First of 3, best of 5.
Now, one of the fun aspects of the tournament is that after the first round's win, the loser can pick a character to directly counter the winners, giving the loser a slight advantage each round. And to keep things fair, the stage will be set to random. This is actually a much bigger deal than most games, as many of the stages in Injustice have stage hazards, which is true, and they can be used against your opponent, and although the stage selection is random, most stages can be changed while in game. Now, by pushing back and heavy attack, the player can cause a stage transition, and the players will be brought into a new stage they play on.
Interesting. Now, also, players will not be supplied with controllers. Each player is required to bring their own or their own fighting stick. Wireless controllers are banned, though. Many players choose to play with fighting sticks. Many of them can be customizable, and it can lead to an easier combo input. Also allow you to turn off or put away the start button, ensuring players are not at risk of disqualification, something that Tara had mentioned a couple of times to me.
Yep.
Very important, because nothing ends your career faster than your own thumb on the start button. I almost said something bad, and I stopped myself. Growth! In almost every fighting tournament, there is a clear punishment for accidentally pausing a game, as it can ruin the momentum of a match and ruin a potential combo. A combo breaker, if the game is paused for any reason, player who paused it will forfeit the round, which has happened just a few times in the past.
No, it's crazy because we were just talking about this a little bit earlier, but like having fighting sticks, and I would say, I think it's, some people might say, well, why are they forced to bring their own controllers?
Sure.
But to be honest, most pro players always bring their own controllers, right?
That's what Tara was saying, actually.
It's not as big of a deal. And I learned this a lot, like attending WCS, also Rainbow Six. Each one of those guys, like you'll watch League, you'll watch Dota, you'll watch Fighting Stick. They all have their own stuff. So anyway, this is the second stop in the Injustice 2 Pro League, so players can expect that lovely $10,000 pot bonus. It's actually pretty amazing that Injustice 2 is such a well-balanced game that there are currently no banned characters in the tournament, which for a fighting game is actually pretty rare.
Oh, yeah.
Now, including DLC characters. Now, it's hard to predict the tournament's outcome. After all said and done, though, we'll be looking towards the upcoming stop at EVO.
Oh, yeah.
EVO is the big one.
EVO. But let's go back to CEO 2018 to be precise, and it promises to bring heart-pounding action, unpredictable upsets. At last year's event, every top player came short of first place, largely due to the free agents White Boy and Slayer. White Boy taking first place himself. Injustice 2 has always been a hotbed for young blood to rise up and unexpectedly destroy the favorites, but few examples compare to CEO.
Now, last year, Sonic Fox, which if you remember our Smash Brothers thing, he's a pretty well-known, fell in the losers final to take third place, followed by Forever King in fourth, and fifth place being between Dragon and Theo. Even current powerhouses, Biohazard, Hayatre, and Silver Eye went home with 9th place, and Tekken Master all the way in 13th place. CEO is known for top players getting the worst placings of their careers, falling to falling to hidden bosses at every corner, falling to a website opening,
and
true. Telling us
things happen.
Things.
Welcome to live.
Yeah.
In this past year, many of these top warriors have polished up their play and continued their streaks of high placings. However, many of the players decided to add new games to their repertoire. Some have found great success. We're talking Sonic Foxes, sometimes taken first in multiple events. That is absolutely his bread and butter, is just to be good at everything, such as Injustice 2 and Dragon Ball Fighters. However, this has led to a lack of concrete consistency like we've seen in the past. Better performances in one game or the other at any given event.
Now, this year's CEO is shaping up to be one of the most exciting, more exciting than the last, with so many top players, new and old. We'll be seeing Tweety and Dr. Gross, two newer players that ended up taking first and second place at Combo Breaker 2018 at the end of May. Rewind will also be there, the man most recently talked about for beating Tekken Master and being 30 health away from knocking out Sonic Fox at the same tournament.
That's not too shabby. Representing the old guard, we've got Biohazard also attending, the man that took the champion Tweety to the brink of Game 5 and nearly took the set. Finally, Dragon, the EVO 2017 and TBS E-League champion, has recently decided to not take part in Season 2 of the Injustice Pro Series, but may still be on board until the end of Season 1, marked by the IPS Grand Finals in mid-September.
Now,
interesting.
The important thing is these players will all be here to give it their all to beat their rivals, take the whole tournament, or just to go out with a bang. Either way, CEO 2018 is going to shake the world of Injustice 2 as we know.
Hype! CEO 2018, Injustice Pro Series. Take a look.
What's the URL?
It's I can't handle it.
Okay, so it's at mixer.com/netherrealm. Netherrealm. Nether. I said it wrong too. Netherrealm.
That's making me feel somewhat better.
Friday, June 29th.
That's tomorrow.
From 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
That's Pacific.
Pacific time.
And, of course, Saturday, that's from 11 a.m. to 2:30 p.m.
11:30 a.m.
What did I say?
11 a.m.
Well, then just come a little early.
2:30 a.m.
That's how we
2:30
do.
p.m. Pacific.
Pacific Standard Time.
Oh, is it? It's actually PDT.
Is it?
Yeah,
it's
Pacific
just
Daylight Time.
because we're in
Yeah,
daylight
yeah.
savings. You know, you learn something new every day.
We are nailing it right now.
Nailed
Remember,
it.
folks, upcoming tournaments is all about finding out about the need-to-know competitions happening in the near future, as in soon.
As in, yep, that's the one.
Yep, as in the
Oh,
same thing I just
Lord,
said.
here we go.
You doing okay? You doing okay?
No evidence of it right now. But for these tournaments that are on the Mixer platform and are a part of Mixer Esports, you can follow the channel, this one, to get a notification when they go live. How about them apples?
Now, Injustice 2, the second stop in the Injustice 2 Pro Series Tour, comes to Florida with CEO 2018 this weekend. We just talked about it.
We just did.
In case you missed our fantastic breakdown of the tournament,
Just now.
watch today's VODs and catch the action tomorrow on Mixer.com, NetherRealm, and Saturday as well. I got it right.
Yeah, you
Not
did.
NetherRealm.
NetherRealm. But you know, we actually started today's show a little early. Why? Because of Halo. The joint Halo and Gears eSport event is coming up soon in New Orleans, and we cannot be more excited. Both tournaments will occupy the same venue, and you can watch either stream on Mixer.com/Halo or Mixer.com/Gears of War. That goes July 13th through the 15th.
Now, StarCraft, and lastly, the StarCraft Remastered
I love you, Scarlet!
Open. Yes, she does. Lastly, the StarCraft Remastered Open and Pro Series was recently announced by Blizzard, and if you're a fan of the original StarCraft, this is for you. Head over to starladder.com for more information on how to play and watch.
Man, we're just giving you all the deets, all the guides, all the places.
I'm honestly excited. Like Gears Pro Circuit, Halo WCS, plus we got StarCraft. We got Hearthstone this weekend.
Yes, HCT.
We got HCT this weekend, and we got Spring Split still going on.
So many
there
things.
are so many things.
Plus, they
and-
just announced earlier this week who's going to the International.
Oh, that's right.
But for more on that, you'll have to be right here each and every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern on this channel. Of course, Mixer.com/ThisWeekInEsports. Be sure to watch our past episodes right below our channel page and follow us on Twitter at WatchMixer for updates on the show and to know what's happening in the wild world esports.
Now, tune into hashtag esports weekend on mixer.com/channel1 this weekend starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Time this Saturday with a repeat of this very episode. We'll have the CEO Injustice 2 tournament starting tomorrow, and it will continue on Saturday with a top 8, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 11:30 a.m. Pacific Time on mixer.com/NetherRealm.
And before we get to making sure to check out our mixer.com/channel1 for the full schedule of all our shows, something to remember, leaderboards, guess who's on top? Bubble Blower 69. Congratulations.
Wow. Bubble Blower 69.
Just a solid work from you.
Maybe we just need to make sure that Lennox always wins. Stick around while we host Mixer LFG, and don't forget to tune in tomorrow for Mixer Level Upcast starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Pacific Time on mixer.com/levelupcast. Along with tips and tricks. Yeah. Every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific, and also Power Builds at 3 p.m. Pacific Time because nobody talks about our show.
No.
Everybody hates it.
Every level up.
Hey, I was going to say a huge thank you to everyone who watched. Make sure to follow that channel. Same bat time, same bat channel each and every week so you can get a notification when we get live next week. And I will say some great things. If you're into Mario Tennis Aces, you're going to want to stick around because we have Ethan and Josh going mano-y-mano.
The best thing about this is Josh is actually wearing a John McEnroe cosplay right now. We actually had to check to see if his shorts were too short for broadcast TV. So stick around.
Sex sells is how we do.
It's going to be amazing.
Stick around. We're going to be right back.
We're going to be right back.
Thanks, you all.